Welcome back to the shop. I'm Jeff from Today's Craftsman, and we're here talking about plywood today, and not just plywood, but sheet goods in general. We're gonna look at and talk about some of the most commonly used sheet goods in the shop for us, and I think for most shops out there, from hobby shops to professional shops. So we have a bunch of examples laid out here. This is an all-inclusive list of all of the things that are available, but these are the things that we use most often. So here is definitely the most used. This is maple veneer UV finish plywood. So we have 3/4 inch here and 1/2 inch here. And this is pre-finished two sides. So this has a UV cured coating on it. You know, it shows up to us looking just like this. And this is what we use to build cabinets. So we're using 3/4 inch for the sides, top and bottom, and we use 1/2 inch for the back. Some people use 1/4 inch. We prefer 1/2 inch, gives you some more strength and rigidity, and it'll hold a screw when you're screwing it to the wall without a nailer. And you can see here that the core veneers are a little bit different. So on this piece of 1/2 inch, it's 3 with the 2 face veneers. And then here on the 3/4 inch, what do we have? 5 with the 2 face veneers. You can get this in pre-finished one side as well. So a lot of guys will use pre-finished one side and they'll put the pre-finished side to the inside, the unfinished side to the outside. But your adjustable shelves need to be pre-finished two sides, so we find it easier just to buy everything pre-finished two sides. It's not very much more money, and then we don't need to think about what sheet we're cutting up when we're cutting up parts. We can mix and match and cut everything at the same time. So yeah, this is maple. I think you can get pre-finished in birch as well, but maple is sort of the standard. You could see, I think they call this C2. So it's got, two decent sides, but one is better than the other. You can see these two sides are kind of lighter, and this side is a little bit darker.
So what's the better side?
It's kind of a crapshoot. I think this is supposed to be the better side, but it depends on the part. Sometimes you get some wacky stuff in there. You might get something like that on the good side, and depending on where you cut your part out, the two side might actually look better. So when stuff is coming off of the saw, I'll label it. So this is a top rail, and I have it marked here for edge banding. This is going into a project that I just started cutting up. So this will go out, this will go up, and then when you're looking inside the cabinet, not that anyone is going to be sticking their head inside, you'll see this side. Moving on from the construction plywood, these are what we're constructing the boxes from. We have hardwood veneer sheet goods. So here we have a piece of 3/4 inch. We call this veneer core. So plywood is what most people would refer to it as. This is 3/4 inch veneer core with a walnut face, face and back. And I think you could tell which side's the good side on this one. And next to it here we have 1/2 inch white oak with a MDF core. So these are the kind of things where we may build a cabinet out of this pre-finished plywood, and then we might have end panels and doors that are made out of veneer core. We might use 1/2 inch veneer core for the panels in our doors. If we're not doing solid book match panels, a lot of times the budget doesn't allow, or big doors, that are prone to movement, we're going to want to use something like MDF. And these come in a variety of thicknesses and with different face veneers. So we use a lot of walnut, white oak. I was cutting up some red oak today. Cherry, really anything. You can get exotics. It all depends on your supplier. But this is a good way to economically use hardwood in your project and afford yourself some stability. So this piece of MDF, this size, is going to be much more stable than a piece of solid wood this exact same size. So it's nice to have that ability, and it's a lot cheaper. So we may pay, say, $200 for a 4x8 sheet of this. which is much less than the material and the time to mill up in solid stock. The big difference between veneer core with a hardwood veneer and MDF with a hardwood veneer is that this MDF isn't going to hold a screw. So in situations, we may have a cabinet where the sides are made out of this material and the top and bottom are made out of pre-finished. That way we can have a finished side, but it's not an additional applied end panel. So in this situation, if we were to use MDF here, this wouldn't be a very strong connection. Even with biscuits and dowels, it's just not very strong. So this is a situation where we would definitely use plywood. But if it was, say, a door panel, the MDF is fine because it's not structural at all. And the MDF will stay flatter. You can see, maybe you can, this piece has a little bit of a curve to it, and it's just this small piece. But this piece of MDF is very, very, very flat. Another option you have if you're doing a painted finish, so we just looked at hardwood veneers, these would be clear finishes. If you're doing a painted finish, we have two options here. This is known as Pluma Ply. This is a Garnica product, so this is a veneer core, and it has, what do we have here, seven core veneers, and then you see we have two face veneers of HDF, high density fiberboard. So this paints up really well, and it holds screws, so this is really like the best of both worlds. And underneath of it here we have just plain HDF. So this is 3/4 inch HDF. Little bit different color here because these are two different manufacturers, but these faces are the same. So these take paint really well. You can sand them and they don't get, they get a little bit fuzzy, but not nearly as fuzzy as regular MDF. But this is great for painted. So just like the hardwood veneer, plywood, we might do the same thing with Pluma Ply, and that's actually something I'm getting ready to do myself, and this is a part. So for this cabinet, I have the top and bottom are pre-finished and the sides are Pluma Ply. So, it's going to be constructed like this. So we'll have a painted interior and exterior, and the cabinet will be assembled after finishing. We'll have edge banding, and it will get painted, as one. That way, we just have a nice flat side. So that's the look that this client's going for. They want a nice flat side, no applied end panel. So you're able to use Pluma Ply. You have the strength of the veneer core, but the paintability of the face. The HDF is good for anything that you need to put an edge detail on. So if we were to put an edge detail on this, well, you have all these veneers exposed. If we wanted to put a cove in this or a bead, something like that, well, we could then sand that and paint it, and it would look nice. It would paint up just like the face. Unfortunately, you can't do that with the Pluma Ply because you would have all these veneers exposed. So, yeah, great for painted projects.
What does HDF stand for?
HDF is high density fiberboard. So it's in theory the same thing as MDF, but it's got a different type of resin that they use to bond the, I guess for lack of a better term, sawdust. It's basically sawdust and glue. So the HDF is denser, and it uses a different resin that gives it, better, I guess, paintability and machinability. We talked about veneer core sheet goods and MDF core sheet goods. There's a third option, and that is melamine. So melamine is a particle board core, and it has a paper face that's actually, don't quote me on the science here, this is like impregnated, basically it becomes one with the particle board. So this is a piece of 5/8 inch white melamine, and this is a piece of 3/4 inch melamine with a faux wood face. This is like a really high-end piece of melamine. This is called Brown Ticini Elm from Egger, and you can see that this is, or maybe you can't see, but this is flat. It's totally smooth. This You can hear that's flat. This is textured. And this, I forget what their trade name is for it, but this is actually textured in a way that the texture lines up with the wood grain. So you find some melamines that have just a random texture that sort of gives them a little bit of wood grain look, but this is actually lining up with all of these little features in the pattern. And we saw this being made down in North Carolina at the Egger factory, which was really cool. We use this on a lot of commercial work, and we use it on jobs where budget is, I won't say an issue, but where budget is a factor. So if you come to us and you say, I just started an install on a job like this yesterday. So if you come to us and say, we want, 16 linear feet of cabinets in our basement, and we're looking for like a wood and then a painted on the top, and I say, okay, it's going to be this much, and you say, well, our budget is only this much. We have to go to a product like this. So this is a inexpensive product. A sheet of white 3/4 inch melamine, you're talking less than like $40, sometimes less than $30 for 32 square feet. For something like this is maybe closer to about $2 a square foot. Similar pricing to like say a pre-finished plywood, and your hardwood face plywood is going to be a little bit more than that. But the beauty of this is that you edge band it and there's no finishing. So it's just done. Finishing eats up a ton of time in the shop. You have all the prep time. You have to purchase the finishing material. So, like the finish we use, you're talking $100, $130 a gallon, $80 a gallon for primer, all of the consumables associated with it, and the time. So this is a really good way to build stuff affordably. And it looks really nice. We could probably put up a picture of what I installed yesterday in this material. It looks great. And you could do a lot with it. And many suppliers have door programs and molding programs with the big melamine and laminate manufacturers. So you can actually get 5-piece doors and moldings that match these patterns. So that's a really good option for budget conscious projects. As a little bit of a bonus, we're gonna edge band this piece for you. We'll show you running the edge bander and what this looks like with a piece of banding on it. But while the edge bander heats up, we could talk a little bit about this material. So this is a piece of 1/2-inch AZEK. And AZEK is a PVC, and I think it's basically just compressed, because I know they actually can recycle this stuff. So we use this on a salon project for some end panels on a sink area that got a lot of water. So PVC is impervious to water. It is very movement prone, but that's more of an exterior application. When you're using it inside, it doesn't move all that much. But in the sun, AZEK can move quite a bit. So on really long runs, I use this a lot as a finish carpenter working outside. On very long runs, if you had a butt joint, say in like a fascia board or something like that, in the winter time, there would actually be a gap between the two. And if you put them too tight in, say, like the springtime, or in the winter, if you did it in the winter, you're in big trouble, because they would buckle. They could buckle right off of the house because they want to expand in the summertime. So AZEK is a really nice product for certain applications, but like anything, it has its caveats and things you need to watch for. So edge bander's all heated up. Let me show you how fast this thing works. That was just a quick look at the most common sheet goods we use here in the shop, and a little look at our Sahisa Compact PCS Edge Bander. If you'd like to see a video on this or hear more about it, let us know down in the comments. And as always, any questions or comments that you have, make sure to leave them down below, tell a friend, and we'll see you next week.